Hi everyone, Old Man Tech here again with another video depicting a vehicle I previously owned, the 1972 Chevy Truck. I had this truck around 1988. All the parts are in a light gray, and the cab here, it's really sturdy. It's got some good heavy, knock it around, boy, it's pretty good shape. And the parts here, you can see I got the engine started tearing down and an awful lot of flash on it that I had to remove, but that's part of the game sometimes. I'll put up a picture here of the truck that I had in 1988. It was in bronze and white. You should see it now. And we'll see how close we can get to the truck I previously owned when we're done. Okay, now comes the part of the video where I reveal my screw-ups, shortcomings, lack of planning, and things to avoid if you don't want to make the same mistakes I did. And then I'll cover some of the products that I've used to get to where I am now. First of all, you've seen the beginning of the video where it's a 72 Chevy. But if you look at the picture of the truck that I had, it was actually a 70 C10. Okay, what's the difference, you may ask? Well, first of all, you can't get a model of a Chevy C10, just like you can't get a Bel Air when you can get a Impala. Manufacturers went for the most popular vehicles that was on the road at the time, and the C10 apparently did not make the list, but that's what I had. And going to poor planning, let me explain here. The C10 did not have the side chrome moldings on it. It's pretty much plain Jane. Of course, you can see I got it painted, so obviously I didn't plan very well to duplicate the vehicle I had. If I had planned properly, I would have sanded all of this off here where you see this trim, and it would have been a plain Jane like I had. But I didn't think that far ahead, apparently, as you can see. So now that we've got it painted, I'm not going to go back and try and do this and repaint it again. I just don't want to do that. So we're going to go ahead with the 72 build with the chrome. I do have some bare metal foil coming. That's why these aren't put together yet. I'm going to put that on, that and the body, before I put it together. The body got painted pretty good, I guess. Don't have any of that orange peel that I had on the other models that I used the spray can with, the old Rust-Oleum trick. So what I did this time is I went with the Email Colors enamel, and I have had poor luck due to lack of experience and the proper equipment to actually put down enamel good. In this case, I mixed the enamel with 50% lacquer thinner, and I got in a little closer than I did on the Supra. You may have seen that I painted. It looks like I painted over sand. That's because I was so far away that the paint was basically dry before it hit the body. But I did get a little closer this time, and I used, instead of Rust-Oleum primer, I used this fine surface primer. And as advertised, it goes on nice and thin. So once you get your body, your bare body, sanded nice and smooth, then you spray this on there, and it is a lot finer. You don't have a lot of that rough stuff on there. And as far as the paint, I got it on to where I had a good coat, but I didn't go far enough and keep layering it and layering it and layering it. So when you fool with it, you can see little places where the paint's come off already. And then I got to go back and touch it up and stuff. So a lot of shortcomings. I'm learning. Hopefully I'm learning. Plus the importance of a proper airbrush. Now I got this one with my air compressor kit and a bunch of paint and all kinds of stuff, and I'm learning on it. But I seen a video of a guy that used a Posh H, and it's got the bowl down here, and then it's also got an adjustment for the amount of spray you want coming out. I think that would be the ticket. He mixed 1 to 1, and then he put on, you know, plenty of coats, and then at the last coat he opened up for more paint to come out, and it went on nice and smooth and you know, juicy without running. I mean, it was beautiful finish when he got done. So like I say, I'm learning stuff. I used a black marker to do the rubber seal around the glass, and I used the Wicked Colors black and brushed it in for the engine bay compartment. It actually don't look bad. I normally would want to try and spray paint it, but I didn't want to screw up this other paint by getting some overspray and having to deal with that. I didn't have any orange peel per se, but I did have what you'd call a little peach fuzz over everything. So I took a 12,000 sandpaper with a little water and some couple drops of soap in it, and I just went over it just very lightly, and it's smooth as a baby's behind pretty much. I don't have any complaints about it, but like I say, I didn't go on thick enough, so you got to be careful how you watch it. Got the engine detailed. Got a gas line from the pump to the engine. You know, nothing spectacular. I didn't use any fittings or anything like that, but it's just a little bit, another added detail that I tried to incorporate as I move along in this endeavor. So, and then on the tailgate for the Chevy, I used the Jelly Roll number 5, which is kind of nerve-wracking in itself because it don't take much to slip off of one of these little letters and you got to redo it all. But so that's where I'm in at it. Now the 67 through 72 were basically all the same. Oop, there goes my compressor. Let me shut that off. All right, 67 to 72 were all pretty much the same truck, except for a few differences. Number one being on the 67 and 68, the hood is sloped on the front. 68, 72, it's this style here. And so those are things to look out for when you're building, I guess. Plan ahead, figure out what you're going to do with the body and everything else, and just enjoy doing it. That's the main thing, by golly. I'm going to take a few moments here and explain what I did on the dash here. I got no gauge decals with the kit. Apparently it didn't come with it. But give you an idea of what I did here and what I used. I used some NATO black as a background to the gauges to begin with. And then I took heavily diluted white acrylic with this brush here. It's an old, I guess a mascara brush you'd call it, that I used in my Supra video. Works real good for doing pinstriping and such. Retains the fluid pretty good. Anyway, I used that to put the white wash over top of the NATO black to give it that lighter white look. And then I used also a small micro brush on the tip, and I did the red for the gauges. I used a small Molotow pen, the smallest one, to do around the gauges and on the gauge assembly housing itself. Oops. And I used black acrylic, Wicked Colors black, to do the knobs and the push buttons for the clock. And I think it turned out all right. What we're doing here is we're making an illusion, you know, and hopefully this this illusion will work out for me. Okay, got that done. Was it easy? No, it was not easy to do. But that's what we do, right? That's the kind of things we do. Okay, I decided to break in with another segment here before I got it all finished. Person can get kind of carried away, you know, and pretty much have it all put together without giving much input. So I'm going to give you a little input here. As you can see, I got the body pretty much done. My first attempt at bare metal foil. Got the door handles to do yet and some stuff to put onto the firewall. Got the wires run for the battery. And here's the box. I think it turned out not too bad. And wheels, rims are ready to go together onto the chassis. Got that all done. Got to put the radiator in yet. Got the bottom pretty much detailed. The dash I showed you earlier in the interior now. Probably pretty hard to see the gauges. But there they are. Did a little whitewash onto the seats on the edges. I used a silver pencil to highlight some of the inside trim, otherwise it's pretty hard to get to without smearing paint all over everything you didn't want painted. The glass front and rear is pretty much one piece. I'm not going to try and dip that. I think I'll just use that the way it is. Got the back cover for the box. Painted a black tart color, I guess you'd call it. Fenders I painted white like was on my truck. Here's the grill. Now, they gave you these little bitty lenses, which is kind of ridiculous. They're like a third of the size of what should probably go in there. I don't even know why they included them. 67 to 70, they pretty much had the same grill. I'll put a picture up of that grill. That ain't this one. And then around 71, I think they come in with this grill here. So a few little differences, kind of restricted by what you get in your kits. I did want to mention before I moved on that I did get my Posh H in. Didn't have much chance to use it during this build, but I did paint this back cover with it. I think it turned out pretty nice. The whole idea of me getting this to begin with is to, when I paint the body with much more surface area, that I can get a wider fan spray to cover more area at one time. I think I'd do a better job. I'm trying to divorce myself completely from the Rust-Oleum cans, which tends to leave a lot of orange peel, and you got to spend all that time wet sanding it and doing all that to get it to look halfway decent. So I guess I'm learning a little bit here. Did a little bit better with my last airbrush. It comes in handy for the small parts, interior parts and this and that, but for the body, I'm going to give this sucker a shot. I think I might end up with a better deal when I'm done. Here we are at the reveal finally. So as far as replicating my C10, this video is a bust. But I think I got a pretty nice model out of it to end up with. Of course, I never had this on mine. It's kind of a fancy thing. That looked a little more like mine. Take the hood off here. Oop, I gotta be careful how I do this because I already flicked off one side mirror. You know how that happens. And we're coming off the stand. Hang in there, chipmunk. Okay, there's the engine. The interior, if you can see it. Got some brake lines around, just a little extra doohickeys there. Lost the hose for this, that was not in the kit or couldn't find it, so I made one out of a piece of wire. Turned out. Put this back on. And And we'll call that another one for the books.